Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in. Busy hour coming up here on Follow the Money. We'll get into props for tonight in 15 minutes. Bottom of the hour, Brett McMurphy, Action Network, on the big college football news that came out yesterday. Here, Pauly, it's a loaded card tonight in Major League Baseball. We're kind of in awe of these numbers as the Rockies, historically bad at this point, taking on the Yankees. And now they're going to go with Tanner Gordon in this game tonight. We talked about this with Matt Vasgersian 30 minutes ago. If you missed it, Matt's so good. You can go back and watch or listen on the VSiN Watch app. Gordon's appearances like in minor leagues, not good. Oh, boy. Tonight,
I would need probably 40 to 1. I'm going to say it's 20.
It's listed as at Caesars Sportsbook. Colorado Rockies, 0 runs conceded after 9 innings, 26 to 1.
Okay.
But you could also, if you want to go completely contrarian tonight and think that somehow the Yankees are going to do nothing, you could ladder their runs under. And you could start at 6.5, go under, that's plus 125. You could go all the way to under 2.5 runs, which is plus 625. We always talk about laddering over. I wish more books would be able to let you ladder under. They're doing this tonight with the Yankees game. They do it with all their games, but there you go. Go completely off the grid. Yankees don't show up tonight.
Okay, what'd you do with the parlay? Same game.
So
I did one, you did one too.
Matt said that if you're going to look at a guy, because the numbers are so reduced tonight with the Yankees, again, Aaron Judge like plus 125 to hit it straight. I did Judge, but he said Volpe is around 7 to 1. So I did a same-game parlay for home runs with Judge, Volpe, and Dominguez, and it's plus 63.27.
Yeah.
All
right.
Little
Good job.
Pocket change there on it.
Okay. And I think we could be seeing a special series and dynamite play in basketball in this Knicks series. There's a stat sheet stuffer. Game goes over. Halliburton, Hart, Towns, and Siakam with double-doubles, 80 to 1. What do you think?
Halliburton, Hart, Siakam.
And Towns.
Wait, so you have to have... Okay, 2 of each team. Siakam's going to be the trickiest guy to get me there.
Probably. McConnell, 4 dimes. Bridges, 5. Nembhard, 6. Hart, 7. Brunson, 8. Halliburton, 9. Pass the rock, 85 to 1.
Pass the rock, so you're basically laddering, but with a different player on every single one of them.
And it goes 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. From Halliburton down to McConnell. But those guys involved, too. Pass the rock at Will Hill.
Okay.
With a quick pick that they have. Good card tonight, right? Good card. Cubby's hot, playing good ball. Sure. Hunter Green's back for the Reds. He's a small favorite. Swanson has been awesome.
It's flipped. But Cubs now favored.
Swanson's been great. Reach base 21 games in a row, hitting 387 during this streak, but he has bad numbers against Green, 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. See if the Cubbies can keep it going here. Had a tough loss against Miami where the bullpen spit it up, but a total of 8.5, and as you've talked about all show and all week, be careful with the weather. 7
starts against the Cubs in his career for Hunter Green. The ERA is north of 4. whip is sub 1 and 11 Ks per 9. So some mixed results there. Pretty good with the Ks, obviously, in the whip, but the ERA got him a little bit. And Matt Vasgersian was talking about Boyd's good numbers here in this case and trying to make a rundown for him and why that would make some sense. I did bet this game's coming up this hour, and the first inning total, the first 3 inning total on the Pirates and Brewers, again, 1.5. I bet it under my plus 106. Peralta on the year, 2.59 ERA. FIP's about a run higher than that. But don't forget, this Pirates team has been just on an unbelievably bad run. You finally hit that over, though, by the way.
Yes.
So you
lucky.
got that one.
Plus money, yep. They ended
and that was like a 6-hour rain delay, the way it felt.
Yeah.
And Skeens, the ERA, the FIP are fantastic, but he's only at 8.9 Ks per 9 on the season, does not allow many home runs at all. So I just said, one time through the order, let's go. Dodgers at Mets, Kershaw takes on Canning. If this was better weather, and I'll point this out, by the way, most venues forecasted for temperatures tonight in the 50s or 60s. The exceptions would be Coors and Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Both will be in the 80s. And a little bit cooler in Sacramento lately than in recent days, but winds are blowing out there 10 to 15 miles an hour. If this was a summer day or a summer night in New York, 75 degrees, beautiful outside, I'd be all in on taking the Mets team total here against Kershaw. I think the guy's absolutely cooked.
Yep.
I love the guy, but
I know. 12-1 with a 210 career against the Mets in 19 starts. The Mets have won 8 straight Canning starts. They're scuffling, though. 13 runs in the last 7 games. Next 26 games, Dodgers, teams 500 or better. Woo, tough. Gets brutal here.
Yep.
Nats and Giants one more time. Again, Gore number 1 in strikeouts. Heavily juiced to the over. Giants last check were 23rd in strikeout rate. Wood is hot. 9 of 17, 8 RBIs the last 5 games.
Big game yesterday.
He's been awesome. That's something to go fire on with the props. Job goes against Cleveland.
Gotta have him here.
They are 8-0. They have won every start. And I'll give you the baseball numbers before we get out of here. Every start, he's $1.20 here against Cleveland. It's a big one. I don't know what that was yesterday.
Well, it was Flaherty.
Okay.
And the offense did absolutely nothing, obviously. You know what? I totally agree. Because where did that come from with Bybee? The guy has been terrible.
Yeah.
And the Tigers' offense has been one of the best in all of baseball, and they could produce nothing. They also had the bases loaded with nobody out late in that game. I think down 3-0, and they got nothing.
Okay. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Red Sox pounded the Orioles in the first one. It's Giolito. Mullins owns him. 8 for 13. That's number 1. And I don't have a starter for Baltimore. Is it an opener? Giolito $1.25. I don't have a starter here in the second game of the doubleheader. So that's coming up as well. And again, so many good stories. Phillies 7 in a row. Angels 7 in a row. A's have lost 9 in a row.
I think I'm going to lay it tonight with the Phillies.
I think, yeah. It's not. They scratched Springs, who was 2-0 with a 1.46 his last couple starts. It is now Lopez. So Wheeler. And again, what was it, 19-3 now? Against teams with a losing record?
Is it
$2? They're $1.20 on the run line. Wheeler against Lopez. So Phillies continue their road trip.
Yeah, I really like it tonight. So I'm going to shop around to get the best number. And I'm not going to do run line. I'm just going to, I think, bet the Phillies here. Wheeler, so good this year. The ERA, I mean, he's right there to win the National League Cy Young. 2.67. The FIP, not much higher than that. 11.25 Ks per 9. Hard hit rate is immaculate at about 22%. And
immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
All
okay.
right.
The Phillies against lefties, they are 4th in WRC+. Lopez is a lefty. They are 4th in WOBA. They are 4th in OPS, and they're 4th overall in slugging. I anticipate this being another big offensive output. They only scored 2 runs yesterday, but they were huge against the Rockies, obviously. They're going to score some runs tonight. And let me give you one that's a little bit bizarre. And I don't know the reasons for this at this point. But if you go back a couple of years ago, Pauly, when he almost won the National League Cy Young, Zach Gallen, it was one of the best talking points every fifth day when we were on the air and he was pitching because his home road splits were night and day. And you wanted to back him and back up the Brinks truck when he was at home because nobody could touch him. Fast forward to 2025. Here you go. Gallen on the road this year, which is where he's at tonight against St. Louis. ERA, 3.38. WHIP, 0.9. 12.5 Ks per 9. Compare those numbers to when he's at home this year. 6+ ERA, a 1.6 WHIP, and 8 Ks per 9. Not even the same pitcher.
Yeah.
When he's on the road.
That's wild. Mm-hmm.
And those numbers were the exact opposite for like a 2 or 3 year stretch not that long ago.
Okay. Strong. Let me go rapid fire. Lopez against Kansas City. Last 6 starts. 5-0 with a 2.13 ERA. Padres have lost 6 in a row. The last 13 games, the bullpen's got an ERA of 9.45. What happened?
Well, and I'll give you some numbers on the Braves against Pivetta coming up in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Texas has won 11 in a row against the White Sox. They have the number 2 starters ERA. Molly's $1.90. Burke walks the ballpark for the White Sox. And it's a Malinsky special, but Kikuchi $1.60 at home to the Marlins. Sandy's been terrible. He's lost 6 in a row, and they're trying to win 8 in a row for the first time since 2014. What a story. Who saw this coming?
That Ohapi who hit, he's got 14 now. He's as high as 80-1 to lead the majors in home runs this year. I don't think, is that worth a bet? Other books have him at 30-1. Again, think about the competition who he has to beat out in order to win that bet.
Yeah.
But he was going yard like every day against the A's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Sharp Plays. He's been with us since day one. Remember Mr. Poison and the T-shirts? Jeff was all over it, and before the line moves, the Sharp Plays at sharpplays.com already there. Don't chase the market. They move it. You're not going to outmuscle billion-dollar sports books or full-time pro bettors on your own. With the Sharp Plays, you don't have to. Powered by cutting-edge AI and trusted insider sources, the Sharp Plays delivers the edge that serious bettors rely on. Credible contacts and information. He talks to everyone. You'll get free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights, all delivered right to you via email or X. It's not an overnight startup. They've been doing this since 2011. Documented track record, receipts, logs, and results right there on the site. Respected, watched, and feared. That's the Sharp Plays. Check them out now, sharpplays.com.
The numbers on Wheeler and the Phillies here in Las Vegas are a little bit shorter than national books. I'm seeing the Westgate with $1.92 right now. I see the South Point with $1.90 on Wheeler here at Circa, about $1.95 in that territory. A bunch of national books have the Phillies already skyrocketing past a $2 favorite in this game tonight. DraftKings at $2.05 in this spot. So proceed accordingly, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Does Edmonton tie it tonight?
Yeah, I think so. They were really good for
the first 2 periods. I know
they were, and then I don't think all those goals were on Skinner. Just they lost their minds. They had dumb penalties, and then Dallas just converted every penalty power play.
Yeah,
just like bada bing, bada boom, like that. It kind of snowballed on them there. So more props coming up. We'll get into that Padres-Braves matchup, including one player who has smoked 6 home runs off the pitcher he's facing tonight. Find out who it is next here on VSiN.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
In 15 minutes, the big news out of college football yesterday as Brett McMurphy will come on to discuss. Does a great job covering that sport for Action Network. Here are some more props to consider tonight. We'll give you the information. You can do with it what you would like. But the Braves have done really well against Nick Pivetta. They have some players anyway who kind of jump off the page, including Marcell Ozuna. 8 for 31 in his career, 6 home runs. He is between plus 275 and plus 320 to hit a home run tonight. That to me is like, just based on that information alone, is not enough to make me go out there and make a bet on him because he has 6 in the past. Austin Riley has 2 home runs off him, and Orlando Arcia, 7 of 11, 636 with the average, a double and 2 home runs. Other players tonight, Suarez against Michaelis, a 429 average, double and 2 home runs. Suzuki against Green is 6 of 13 with a double, a triple, and 2 home runs. Their outfield is ridiculously loaded. Crow, Armstrong, Hunter, and Tucker, and Suzuki. And Brian Reynolds against Freddie Peralta, 387, a double, triple, and a home run. Manny Machado against Chris Sale, 357 career average, 3 doubles, a home run, and 3 stolen bases, by the way, and that comes in 33 plate appearances. So those are some more Major League Baseball numbers to look at for tonight.
All right, Mullins' total bases, 2 is plus 145 at DraftKings as he's 8 for 13 against Giolito. Good write-up today, vsin.com, by Jonathan Davis. Nugent Hopkins for Edmonton has gone over 1.5 shots on goal, 9 of the last 10. Now, over 1.5 is minus $192. Over 2.5 is plus 150. But he wants to give out both in his write-up, but thinks he really likes over 1.5, and the juice is worth it there based on the 9-1 run that's he's had, and he's coming back on Draisaitl, first goal of the game, 9-1, which are cashed in game 1 as well.
Did you bet Edmonton tonight?
No.
Any consideration there?
I'll take Dallas in play if they go up 1-0.
I really liked the Oilers.
It was a weird game.
Yeah, I really liked how they played the first 2 periods.
Uh-huh.
They were the better team. And then it was kind of like a longer version of what happened to the Knicks against the Pacers at home. Same night, almost the same time.
Yeah.
Happening almost simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Stay out of the box, guys.
It's ridiculous.
And then when you go to the box, how about the PK shows up a little bit?
Uh-huh. Well, NBA, we're all about Toppin tonight. Over 3.5 rebounds. You can ladder it and you get nuts. Lead the game. Most in the game, 80-1. Double-double, 18-1. Carlisle with some big-time comments after the win game 1, praising Toppin. Subbed out Turner, put in Toppin. It was great. He was relentless. He's athletic. He had the big dunk, 2 dunks as well. He's 7.5 as his point prop, and then 3.5 with the rebounds as well. Mm-hmm. You can also go with these guys to over 3s. Again, I think we could see another 120 to 130 or 120 to 110 game tonight with these 2 teams, and bombs away with Cat over 1.5, OG over 1.5, because the looks are certainly going to be there, and Cat poses all kinds of problems for the Pacers. Has killed them in the regular season and hit 3 threes in the first game. WNBA, that was a weird win for Indiana last night. Yeah. At the physicality, Clark yelling at the girl, "I'm not afraid of you." I think it was Howard, her name. Liberty is 3 tomorrow in the morning at Indiana. 170 the total. Clark only had 5 dimes, and she didn't make a 3. I couldn't believe it.
It's going to be a good test for the Fever in that game.
Yeah.
And look at their power rating. Now, they're at home, I get that, but...
Well, if the last game Saturday was the most watched WNBA game in 25 years, what's this going to be? Because it was a blowout. I know it was Reese against Clark, but it was a blowout. This is the champs against the Fever here. Should be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I'm not going to put too much stock into a regular season matchup. If these 2 teams meet again in the regular season, we'll see how the season unfolds. But I think huge test tomorrow for Indiana. Uh-huh. Huge. And if they show up well, man, then the hype's only going to take off. If Caitlin Clark is dynamite tomorrow and goes double-double or gulp, dare I say triple-double, and they win the game and she's like the best player on the court, no-brainer, well, then the ratings are going to be, it'll break what happened last weekend, and then the hype is just going to pick up even more.
Yep.
And that, by the way, a result tomorrow from one game could change the future numbers. I'm not joking.
Mm-hmm.
Because books want to protect any possible damage that will be done by Caitlin Clark and the Fever, because she's Tiger Woods, basically.
Yeah.
Put up any number, they're going to bet it.
What do you want to do with Plum? She's 24.5, 23.5 tonight points.
Yeah, those are...
They're playing Golden State.
Golden State again.
Yeah.
Pretty high numbers.
162.5 the total. And, didn't get there yesterday. Reese fell 1 rebound short, even though she had that bizarre sequence where...
We did say that,
she was in the game, though, down 30 with 5 minutes left.
It's that matchup. Yeah, it's the Liberty that we're talking about here. Could turn into a blowout, so be careful with that. Yeah. I think in other prime matchups... You have to look at Angel Reese rebounding props in every single game. Last night was not a prime matchup. You just do. It's got to be part of the old portfolio every single day.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right. Some baseball numbers. Number 1 ROI. Detroit, number 1, up almost 9 units. Angels. Second best ROI.
All of a sudden, huh?
With this long winning streak.
That sweep of the Dodgers really helped
That's your big boy. Seattle, number 3. Cubbies, and then St. Louis. Worst ROI, no surprise, you know what it is, Colorado, down 27 units. Baltimore, down 1860. Down 18, almost 19 units on the Orioles.
That was going into today.
No, now I updated it.
Oh, it's updated? Okay.
I did that with the loss today. Pittsburgh down 1254. Huh. I see the GM came out and said, well, maybe it's not your choice, buddy. Because if Skeen says, get me out of here, then what are you going to do?
Well, I didn't hear what
the
he said.
GM came out and said, we're not going to forget about trading the guy or entertaining the thought, whatever, what Cherington said.
How about a year into his career, right? He was called up, I think, around this time last year. They're so bad. That's on you, pal.
Yep.
It's so bad that you got to squash the rumors already, or their talking points anyway.
White Sox down 1052, Atlanta down 760. Sonny Gray, 9-1 to the over. Kikuchi, love that movie. Kikuchi, 8-2 to the over. Brown, 7-1 to the over. Rodriguez, 7-2. Hicks, 7-2. Senga, 8-0 to the under. Peralta, who goes tonight, 7-1 to the under. Haney, 7-2. Martinez and Evaldi and Littell, 8-2 to the under. Bassett, 9-1 to the under. Joe Ryan, 7-0 to the under. Job, the number one moneymaker, up 8 units and change. Detroit's 8-0, the perfect when he starts. Robbie Ray, Giants are 9-1 when he starts. Anderson for L.A., 7-2. As I mentioned earlier, the Mets have won 8 straight canning starts, 8-1. Parker, 7-3. And worst ROI, Smith, down 7 units. The White Sox are 1-9 when he starts. Freeland, Rockies are 1-9. Flaherty, 2-8. Keller, 2-8. Morton, 0-6. Marquez, 1-9 as well with the baseball numbers.
Let me run this by you. How many times are you willing to go to the well with a player or a team if they burn you? Like, you do it twice and then you get off?
Well, it depends.
Because I made a big case. Here's the reason why I'm asking you. I made the big case for Benedict Mathurin to go over 10.5 points in Game 1 on Wednesday's show. I bet it, loser, and just wasn't his night. So now tonight, the points prop comes down to 9.5. And we ran down on Wednesday, and I'll repeat it here. He crushed the Knicks in the regular season, averaged 25 points per game, was dynamite off the bench, and in his career has had like super gaudy numbers against this team. Now it came back down to 9.5, and there's like no juice on it. In fact, FanDuel just went to minus 106 on him to go over. Do I go back to it one more time? I was super confident Game 1. It was a loser. Come back with it, and then if I get burned, just say that's enough for me. Because Neesmith is not going to have that kind of a night.
No, you got to find him. Yeah.
And they'll play 9 guys, so I'm pretty confident that somebody's going to go off. Hopefully it's Toppin with the rebounds, but they're going to get scoring from somebody else. I think I need to bet Mathurin one more time here.
All right. That's fine. Give it a shot. VSiN's hitting the road in June for the College World Series in Omaha. We're live June 12th through the 14th from Rocco's, the iconic home of the Jell-O Shot Challenge. Catch money moves and follow the money. Live from Omaha. U.S. Open, NBA Finals, College World Series, great pizza, great times, great food. And Saturday we're on the air 9 to noon local time. We'll bring you the sights, sounds, and best bets from the tournament. If you're in the neighborhood, stop by, say hello. College World Series in Omaha. Money moves and follow the money. June 12th through the 14th from Rocco's.
Did I say this on the air yesterday, or was it to you off the air, that the reaction that we've gotten from people in and around that area, actually one person said he might make the 15-hour drive.
I saw that one, yeah. How about that?
Because it's a true bucket list item, and people are like, oh, hey, I've never done it, want to do it, you guys are going to be there, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I just felt bad about Foxwoods, because at times working for DraftKings is like, I've seen, I can't say that on the air. It was like, it wasn't promoted. We didn't even have a week to pray.
Promote it for like a day in advance.
Hey, guys, we're going to Foxwoods. We'll see you Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we'll be there bright early at 7 a.m.
And all the people, every guy, hey, where are you from? Hour and a half,
2 hours away.
hour and a half. It was incredible.
It's one of the highlights of my career.
Bet.
Not joking.
Bad weather, too. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was the middle of December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I can't wait for this. It's going to be great. But I'm going to have to brush up on college baseball here. So it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, major news in college football yesterday. We'll talk about it with Brett McMurphy, Action Network, next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
we had significant news in the world of college football yesterday, and Brett McMurphy broke it with Action Network, and he is kind enough to join us here on a Friday afternoon on the Progressive Guest Line. Brett, great to talk to you as always. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm kind of bummed out, though, that Derek's going to limit me to only 200,000 entries in the Grandissimo football contest.
God.
I mean, if I drop your name, can I maybe do 3?
You stole my thunder.
I was going to come on.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to split an entry with Pauly and me, but forget about it.
I was going to do 5. So maybe we can use your name for one and use mine for the other 2. But
cool.
I'll probably be watching on the sideline. But no, I saw that yesterday. Really, really cool. I've done the Survivor before, and it's crazy. But I'm excited to see how many of you guys you get, and unbelievable deal. And maybe Derek will let me do 3. I'll talk to him at some point.
I'll ask you this: it's circus competition, but Westgate's going to introduce a college football contest this year. Any interest there to pop in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Why not? Their money counts, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So this is what you tweet. Yeah. Part of your tweet yesterday was the changes for 2025. The top 4 seeds will get a first-round bye regardless if it won a conference title, according to the sources that you talked to. Did you like the news? Did you hate the news? Did you see it coming from a mile away? What was your reaction?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big surprise. I mean, people within the industry thought this was going to happen. The biggest difference is, how the seeding will be impacted. For instance, if this would have been in place last year, Texas and Penn State, which played first-round games at home because they didn't win the conference title, they would have got a first-round bye. They would not have played that first round. And also what was significant, Boise State, instead of getting a first-round bye, they dropped from the 3 to the 9 seed. Arizona State would have dropped from a 4 to an 11 seed. So I think that's better because you're rewarding the better teams by giving them the higher seeds. Another difference in that is that Notre Dame, before they could not get a top 4 seed because they cannot be a conference champion. Mm-hmm. Conference championships are not required now. So if Notre Dame ranks in the top 4, they will get a first-round bye. So now people are going to push back and say, well, wait, they're only playing 12 games. They don't have to play a 13th game. Well, they're Notre Dame, so they can get away with that. And something that Pauly kind of mentioned to me off the air, we don't know what's going to happen, and this is for 2025. In 2026 going forward, we don't know what's going to happen with the conference championship games because, we will go to either 14 or 16 teams in 2026. And it's expected that the Big Ten and the SEC will get a minimum of 4 bids to that. Oh. So if you're the SEC, there's no reason to pitch your top 2 teams in a conference championship game and get them beat up. So you could see 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 to get that 3rd and 4th automatic bid from the SEC or the Big Ten. So, anyway, that kind of devalues the argument that, well, Notre Dame needs to play a 13th game. The only thing we know for sure is in 2025, 12 teams, seeding does not matter. The highest 5 ranked conference champs get an automatic bid like last year. They just don't get the automatic bye, depending on where they're ranked. And then in 2026, it is going to look completely different. So this is kind of like a one-year wonder, if you will.
All right, you had that story as well and broke that. Excellent reporting, and you are the man. I hate this. I think you should earn it, and every year is different. I think if they want to be the ultimate villains and take their ball and go home, let them. If the SEC and Big Ten are going to cry because they don't get their way and want 4 auto bids every single year, I find it ridiculous and insulting. What do you think?
I understand your viewpoint, but from their viewpoint, I'll play both sides of this. They generate, with the Big Ten, they generate the most revenue. They generate the most eyeballs. They bring the most value to the college football playoff. It's not the Big 12. It's not the ACC. It's not the group of 6 teams. So they bring the most value. So why shouldn't they be rewarded? And would the Big Ten and the SEC, if they don't get what they want for the playoff in 2026, could they say, we're going to take our ball and go home and do our own thing? Absolutely. I do believe, though, that's the the last thing they want to do. But if they get to a point where they can't get an agreement from the other conferences, look, whether we like it or not, they could do that. And the Big Ten SEC playoff, whatever we would call it, would draw bigger numbers than a national playoff with the remaining conferences. That's just the fact of life. And I went through and looked at the last 11 years of the college football playoff. Literally every year but maybe one, the SEC would have had their top 4 teams all within the 16, in the top 16. I think there were, let me correct that. I think there was 2 years they may have had their 4th team, may have ranked like 17th or 19th. So again, it's mostly going to be an outlier. But again, I do agree with you that I think you should earn it. Let's just go the top 16. Let's forget what conference you're in. Let's go to the top 16. But then if we do that, Pauly, the issue is teams are going to schedule tomato cans. And the one positive out of the automatic bids for the Big Ten and the SEC is we're going to see some monster non-conference games. We've seen a lot more last year. We're going to see a lot this year. Going forward, we'll see more because those power schools, the Big Ten, SEC, losing a Michigan-Texas game is not going to penalize either school because you know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is if you're in the top 4 in your conference. So in theory, you could go 0-3 in conference play and you finish in the top 4 in your conference, you're in the playoffs. So again, looking at both sides of this, we're going to see bigger marquee, higher rated TV games between the bell cows, between the big powers, the Texas, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Ohio State, Michigans, Penn States, than maybe we've seen in the past 10 years because you lose those games and there still is a very viable path to the playoff. And also you earn more revenue through your TV deal when you're playing, you're playing those games instead of rolling out Kent State or Bowling Green or somebody like that.
There's a chance a 7-5 team could make the playoff, though, with this scenario. Also, does this feel like a playoff or an invitational?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, if you're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, then you feel like this is invitational because those guys are guaranteed basically 8 of the 14, 8 of the 16. Then you've got at larges. So some years the Big Ten or the SEC could have 6 of the 14 or 6 of the 16. We'll have to see how that plays out. A big sticking point, Pauly, and what has to be determined and has not been determined. The model that the Big Ten and the SEC wants is 4 autos for the Big Ten, 4 autos for the SEC, only 2 automatic qualifiers from the Big Ten, 2 from the ACC, and then 1 group of 6. And then the remaining would be at large. Well, the Big 12 and the ACC, they want a 3rd automatic bid. So there is some heavy pushback there. We'll have to see who wins that battle. Because certainly if the Big 12 and the ACC only get 2 automatic bids, that opens up more at large bids. And if you're the Big 10 and the SEC, historically, you have several teams ranked in that top 12 who would grab those at large bids. And also Notre Dame will be taken care of as long as they finish in the top 16 or top 18. They will automatically get one of the at large bids, whether there's only 1 at large bid available or whether there's 5 at large bid available, whatever format they decide to go with.
Jeez. Wow. Okay.
You got 7 last year.
I know.
Big Ten, SEC. You got 7 teams in.
How about this angle, Brett? And I know plenty.
You may have 6 from one. You could have 6 SEC teams and 4 or 5 Big Ten teams.
Oh,
I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, and we have a minute left here. I know plenty of people who were live to Boise State tickets at like 500 to 1. They got a bye last year. And, if it breaks their way, they win that game, those tickets suddenly become, you can do something with those. Forget about group of 5 teams. They're done. They're cooked.
They're done. Yeah. They are, and that's sad. And you're right.
Yeah.
In your Arizona State play, that was great. If they beat Texas, they should have beat Texas. You're in a great head spot. But, that's a thing of the past. I think the college football playoff, it's always been the Alabamas, the Georgias, Ohio States, et cetera. I think it's going to be like the Final Four this past year where we saw 4 number 1 seeds. If you're not in a power conference, you've got no shot. I mean, that's the reality of it. I hate that, but that's the way. We're not headed there. We're already there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of rubber stamping it.
I think you're spot on with that. You can follow Brett on X. He is at Brett_McMurphy. Does a great job for Action Network. Great conversation, man. Thanks for the time. Have a great holiday weekend.
You got it, guys. I'll see you out there this summer for Big Ten and Mountain West Media Days.
Sounds great. There you go.
All right.
That's what Pat Forty and Wetzel's biggest concerns were. That you could go 0-3 in the non-conference and then go like 7-2 in conference play and win like a 5-way tie, and then you're in. Well, even though you're 7-5.
Okay, in pocket next, and I've dreaded doing this my entire life, but finally did it for the first time ever last night. Got to tell you, not that bad.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was not done. These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's unborn children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right. The Pirates bet wins. Team total. The 26-game streak is over. They get, I think they got 2 in the ninth. Over 4.5 plus money. And Anderson under, he got chased. That has won 7 in a row. Got to come right back with that tomorrow. Anderson saves under. What a performance by Carolina. What? This is 7 shots through 2 periods and a must-win? The crowd's chanting, shoot the puck, shoot the puck? Man. Pacers to win the East, 19-1. Bet that during the first round. The Carolina-Dallas exact is on life support. Man City Sunday, $1.70 against Fulham. Tomorrow, $300 million on the line. The winner gets promoted to the Prim. Get up early, catch it 7 a.m. from Wembley. Sheffield United against Sunderland under 2.5. 2's even money, 2.5's now heavily juiced. It's moved big time. And Meatman gave out no goal score, 6-1. Cat most rebounds in the conference finals, $2. Halliburton assist, $2. The double Thunder to win game 1 in the series, -170. League One championship. Sunday. Playoff winner gets promoted. Charlton against Leyton Orient. Same thinking. Nervy. KG under 2.5. Anderson under 23.5 saves tomorrow. Halliburton most assists tonight, 150. Panthers tomorrow to win in regulation, $1.05. They're $6 to win the series. They beat them 5-0 and 5-2 on the road. I mean, this.
Well, take a look at 2-1 for a sweep.
Yeah.
How about that angle too? Because if they win this game, I mean, it's happened before where, like, the gentleman's sweep doesn't happen in Game 4, or in Game 3, I mean, it happens in Game 4, and then it's a 5-game series. How does Carolina respond if it's another bloodbath in Game 3?
Yeah.
It's, guys, fun season, great to know you, party's over, I'm hitting the beach now. All right.
Yep.
Recapping last night's action here as well as we move on. All right. Naz Reid, 6+ rebounds that got there. I didn't know what to do with him or any other player in Game 3, to be honest.
No kidding. Everyone's struggling from 3.
Yeah.
It's been awful, especially Reed. Ant was 1 of 9. DiVincenzo was bad.
Yeah. Pending bets for tonight. Tigers, you guys got to come through now. The Phillies are on a mission. They have the 1-game lead for most wins in May. Need you, Tigers. Big weekend, guys. Come on, let's go. 16-1 there. Josh Hart to lead the East, the Eastern Conference in rebounds, plus 550. Had 13 in Game 1. Okay, the ladder props with Obi Toppin. I just keep adding them. 5+, plus 135. 6+, I bet it twice. Plus 270 the first time. Added more, plus 250. 7+, plus 550. I didn't have time to give these to Luke. I laddered them all the way up to 8 and a little bit on 10-1 as well. And you know what? I got to do it. I got to come back with Benedict Matherman over 9.5 points, -105 here today at Circa. Had to bet him. on a 2-team money line parlay tonight. I think the Knicks win the game, bounce back. I'll team it up with the Yankees fading Colorado -114. And we'll have a little bit of fun here. Small bet. We'll do a Judge Volpe Dominguez same game home run parlay. Pays right around 63 to 1. And Pirates Brewers in action right now. First 3 under +106. A lot of action there.
There you go. Come on. More action than a John Wick movie.
You did it.
Got that.
Not as much as a Mission Impossible movie, though.
How was it? Can you give us
Are we done here? Okay.
You want me to read something first? All right. Smarter Bet start here. Last all year long, VSiN Pro. The morning email from Bill 80, which was outstanding today, about the contest with Derek and all the contests and the story behind it. Right now, sign up, annual subscription, 14 months, just $199, promo code PRO. 2 extra months free, less than 50 cents a day. Subscribe now. Get every pick, every host, every guest. The betting splits, the trends from Mackinnon, the dog videos, vsin.com/subscribe, promo code PRO. Lock it in.
Okay, so I told myself I wanted to have a day yesterday, right? We have the breaking news with the football contest here for Circa on the show. That was huge. Derek, Mike, and Jeff Benson came in. They announced what they're going to do with their football contest. We're feeling good. Watching that game last night, it was disgusting. Both of them were total blowouts. And so I told Lorraine, I'm like, look, I want to end the night by going to Mission Impossible. Didn't have a babysitter. So I'm like, are you cool just watching Bash tonight? I'm just going to see if there's anything that's available to go get a ticket and watch the movie. She's like, yeah, of course.
I got no problem going by myself.
So I looked. There was a 10 o'clock showing in IMAX. I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Got to go IMAX.
I'm going to do it. So first time in my life I ever went to a movie on my own. I'm not going to include the time I went with a credential because that was something for a radio station I worked at. Yeah. First time in my life. The reason why I don't like doing it is because I want to have like the instant reaction afterwards and talk about a movie with somebody. So I sat there. A lot of people were there. IMAX, the chairs just go back. I mean, it's 2 hours and 40+ minutes. So
how many previews?
At least 20 minutes worth.
Got to cut that out.
And
it's too much. I'm in my seat over 3 hours.
The production, I haven't been to a movie in a long time, but for years now they've been doing that animated, hey, the phones, turn them off, please. How much money do they put into the videos now for turning your phone off? It's like a 3-minute bit. Like, guys, we get it. We're not going to have our phones on. Please, we do it for 30 seconds. It doesn't need to be 3 minutes. Anyway, I'm not going to give anything away other than you have to respect the daylights of what Tom Cruise does and how he delivers every single time. My heart was racing for most of the movie. It was difficult to breathe in a couple of spots watching it. And he's
62.
Oh, my God. The physical condition that he is in this movie, he could fight in the UFC the way it looks. The submarine scene, the part that they film underwater is right around 20 minutes. It's revolutionary.
Yeah?
I want to go back just to watch the underwater scene.
So that's what a viewer said yesterday. You want to go back just to watch that scene?
Just to watch that 20-minute scene. And the way they shot certain aspects of it, it blew my mind. I'm like, this is one of the most gorgeous and breathtaking scenes I've ever seen in my entire life.
A guy in New York yesterday said, with Showstarter, he was walking in. And he said that scene is just incredible.
That was
what he said.
So, and that's not the only scene, by the way. There are several other scenes where it's like never ending.
Let's go. Going Saturday.
But so you got. I'll say this: if you like the MI series, clearly Captain Obvious checking in here. You have to go and watch it at the theater. Just what that does for that movie is. But you want to take a guess how much it was? Opening night after fees. Again, I haven't been to a movie in at least 2 years, probably. So I'm going in fresh.
27.
It was $28 after fees.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the going rate.
The soda, the popcorn, all that too. On top of that.
I didn't do any of that, but the lines were insane. Anyway,
you said something interesting during the break because I hate this. You have to earn it. Unbelievable balls to say we want 4 automatic bids every single year.
Oh, I totally concur.
Before we kick off. You said something interesting, though, about what Brett said at the end, that the Big 12 and ACC want 3.
Well, so the talking point is going to be the SEC and the Big 10 completely dominating the overall amount of teams getting invited, right, to the playoff. And I get that. Those two conferences, that cannot get lost on the back burner here. Who's to say that with the landscape of college football, that those conferences will ever deserve 3 teams to get in ever again. To be locks, like no matter what you do throughout this year, you're going to get 3. That is crazy talk, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you that 7 teams should get in from the SEC and 6 from the Big Ten, but to your point, can you go out there and prove it? And can we have some criteria, by the way?
No kidding.
Does that matter to anybody?
Who's to say this is going to continue? The SEC would pay players and cheat their asses off. Okay? Well, now it's NIL, and everyone gets paid, and now the talent is spread out. And guess what? They haven't won the title in 2 years. And now you're seeing the Arizona State stories and super conferences and look what happened in North Carolina. Who would think that Bill Belichick would go to college and go to North Carolina and all the money that's available there? And look at SMU. Mm-hmm. How good is that? They might be a powerhouse.
They could be.
They have more money than anybody.
Yeah, they could be the team.
They forego TV revenue for like 10 years. Right. The president, it's like $300 million. I'm not losing sleep over it. What a line. Right. They got billionaire after billionaire there.
You see my point, though, about betting those teams not from the SEC?
Yeah.
Because what's it going to take for Arizona State or somebody from the ACC
well, let's just look at it.
To be ranked in the top 4 to get one of those buys?
Yeah, right. So Boise would have played Indiana on the road. Okay, you win, then you have to beat Oregon. You win that, you get the winner of Penn State, Notre Dame. Then you get, Ohio State. I mean, that's just, and then they want to expand, so then factor that in too.
Instead of Arizona State getting the bye, they would have had to win at Ohio State, and then they would have played. And then they would have played like
at
Texas. Yep.
At
Georgia. So 300-1. The rollover parlay alone, by the way.
Stay tuned. VSiN Prime Time. Matt Humans, Will Hill coming up, and then stick around for the Sports Gambling Podcast with Sean Green and Ryan Kramer, 11 p.m. Eastern. Go get them, folks. Good luck. Cash some tickets.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.